How's it going, guys? But I'm going to bring you today some infantry gameplay with the AEK-971. And of course, I think you guys, for the most part, know my thoughts on the AEK-971. It's basically a jack-of-all-trades weapon that can make a good player great and a great one nearly invincible. Because of that 900 fire rate that makes it nearly invincible in close quarters, but in addition to that, tap and burst firing can make you just as viable as any other weapon in medium and long range as well. So my advice to you would be to get used to this weapon, get used to its idiosyncrasies, get used to it over range, and just practice, practice, practice. It makes perfect, and you will absolutely see the rewards for it. Now, what I wanted to do is show you this video, and you'll see clips of me here struggling, trading kills, not doing very well. I think I start 5 and 7, something of that sort. And as you're watching these clips of me struggling to start, playing aggressive, playing and trying to win the match, but not trying to overstep my bounds, just struggling for the most part here, you might be thinking to yourself, what is this guy with 15,000 subscribers posting a video of him struggling and doing absolutely terrible for? What are we going to gain from it? What are we learning? How would this benefit us? Is this a waste of time? My answer is an immediate no, and I think you should watch it. And the reason why is I wanted to tell you why. Well, basically you should watch it. And it's about teaching a lesson of persistence paying off and staying aggressive. And as you see me struggling here, what I wanted to do was push this lane. This outside flank lane in Operation Locker, because as much as these maps, this map is really conducive to explosive spam, and sometimes no matter how good your team is, you're just not going to push through that wall of lead and explosives. It's just not. It's an inconceivable prospect sometimes. Let's just face it. But hey, when you look at this circumstance here, I know that as much as I'm not actually rushing for the MCOM in a lot of these circumstances, I know if I hold this right lane that the other team cannot possibly flank and get behind us, and we'll control this hallway. Because getting these two MCOM is basically about this hallway that to my left. It's about control of this hallway, because it gives you access to the MCOM that I basically planted earlier, but in addition to that, it gives you the chance to go to the left side as well. So it's about controlling this hallway and this set of MCOMs. But going back to the lesson, I wanted to show you why staying aggressive and persistence pays off really, really counts. I started awful, as you saw. I think it was 5 and 7. What you'll see at the end of this, at least part here, is a 20 or 25 infantry kill streak. And that would not have happened if I completely, like, say, dialed down the pressure, figuring my KD was awful or anything of that sort. So that would be the lessons. Continually stay aggressive regardless of the fact that you're playing awful, because A, your team will benefit for it. You'll benefit yourself individually as you continually improve your skill set while playing through pressure and frustration. Very, very key points. But in addition to all of that, just all of that, it just helps your team in that moment. That's the very least you'll get out of it. So just continually stay aggressive. Now, I did want to break down what aggression is, because I see a lot of those guys that put PTFO in their clan tags, play the fucking objective, do what you can, but they're the guys that, ironically enough, aren't really playing the objective despite the fact that they say they are. They'll continually blindly rush an MCOM, they'll throw their body at it, they'll say, oh hey, there's an MCOM, let's run directly into the trap that the enemies have already perfectly locked down and are waiting for you to walk into. And it's the ultimate contradiction. It's irony at its finest. Guys that claim they're playing the objective aren't playing it at all, despite thinking they are. What I'm saying with aggression, though, before I get sidetracked, is as much as you do want to stay aggressive, push through, kill enemies, and do what you can to get to those MCOMs in this particular example, what you don't want to do is blindly throw yourself at it when I mean aggression. What I want you to do when I mean aggressive is to continually, like, read your minimap and see where the team needs you. Like in this left side, you're going to see me here basically taking out the remaining stragglers of the defenders that are trying to hold us off the MCOMs. But you'll see here, I do get a bit greedy in this little bit of a section here, because I'm about to push out, well, after I kill this guy, what I do is push out, and I figured now that there's the three ways, there's the way to my left, there's the bottom section, to get to these next set of MCOMs, but there's a good chance that just the way the Operation Locker is set up, that this is going to be a meat grinder, and it's, as much as I do shoot around here for a bit, it's not really going to be conducive to me or my team to stick around to this spot. There's just too much going on. So what you'll see is me eventually toward the end going and taking a different flanking spot. And that's what I mean by staying aggressive. It's figuring out what your team needs and pushing through it. But at the same time, it's not completely walking into traps. It's seeing, and that was my first death, so it was a good run. We end up getting through. But you'll see here, I do push through this particular section, cleaning up the stragglers, because we did get this next set of MCOMs. Because when I died, they happened that my team pushed up and got everything. But you'll see that I changed my strategy of trying to, instead of to push through all the choke points, I instead decide, let's flank on the outside. Let's see what the enemy has. Like, I'll go here and I'll explore the outside. I figure, let's explore what the enemy has. Let's see with it. So persistence paying off again, being try a couple of deaths, try a couple of lives to push through that, like through an enemy section to see what they have. Like I went on that outside flank and I planted the MCOM once I got in. If I had completely pulled the plug after, say, 2-3 deaths of pushing that left side, I probably wouldn't have gotten that MCOM. So it's about persistence and pushing through. But it's also know when to draw the line. Like if after 3-4 deaths and you see that the enemy hasn't budged, they're completely locking that area down, you should probably try and find a different flank route. But don't just mail it in and say, oh, well, they locked it down. There's no point in me trying anymore. It's always about checking, it's knowing the maps, and it's knowing how many angles you have. So in this particular case of Operation Locker here, we have, now that we took that last MCOM, there'll be the way I'm looking there is one route in. To my right will be another way, or basically directly in front of me, to my right a bit will be a second way in. And of course, once I'm done mowing through this section, you'll also see a third way of going through, which is through those doors directly to my right, from the outside toward the next set of MCOMs. The first two ways I didn't choose to go through at all, because the non-outside route, because, well, there's no point to it. They're waiting to shoot you. They have it locked down, but you should still stay aggressive and try and push that outside. But in addition to all that, like, that was to my end point basically being stay aggressive. If your kill death ratio sucks, make adjustments. Try and see where your team needs you or where you can try and push through. Like in this case here, like I was saying to you earlier, they know they're waiting for people to come in. This would not at all be conducive to not only your success, but your team's success. So now I'm going to try this left side section here, or this right side section here. Well, that, and I needed some bullets. So once I refueled the bullet section here, I had a look and I said, okay, what are my odds of getting through this section alive? How many teammates do I have? Nope. Just that sort of risk analysis section. Now I'm going to explore the left side, or the right side, outside, which is ultimately the best strategy. Because now, while they're holding off the other two sections, this third section is going to be deficient in defenders. Push it. Stay aggressive. That's the end goal. Hope you enjoy, guys. See you later.